everybody. It looks like we're finally live for our 5 o'clock show at 5:13. So I hope this is worth waiting for. Hope you've been able to find it okay. You would think that this YouTube live thing would be really easy, but it is not super easy to set up. But I'm glad you're here, and I'm here, and I'm fixing dinner. And honestly, this is not what I had intended. I just had my dates wrong. So to stay true to my word and come on at 5 like I said I was gonna do, you're getting dinner. And I'm trying to look at the camera. I think you might have to adjust that a little bit for you to see what I'm doing, although I'm not making anything new. I'm making beef stroganoff and mashed cauliflower. So you've seen these recipes. I've made them a couple different times. Really, I just want to interact with you. Sorry, we're a little frazzled because things just didn't go according to plan. Let me get my pan out of the oven. So I'm trying something new tonight. We're gonna have roasted green beans. I can tell I have a sneeze. Ugh. There will be no editing out of the sneezes and that kind of thing. I roast all kinds of vegetables, but I have never roasted green beans, and so I'm gonna try it. They had bags of green beans. I think they were 2 pounds at Aldi this week, and so I picked up a bag and thought I would give it a try. So I have some bacon drippings from my yummy healthy bacon that I saved, and I just melted that. I put my oven on 400, and like I said, melted the bacon fat, and then I'm putting my beans on, salt, and a little black pepper, and I'm just going to carefully toss those around so they're all covered, that bacony goodness. You can use any kind of cooking fat you like, coconut oil, avocado oil. Wouldn't use butter. Ghee would be great. I'm going to try to get these so they're laying kind of flat. And wash my hands and put that back in the oven. Okay, so 20 minutes. If you're here, I'd love it if you would say hi, and if you want to tell us where you are, love to know where you are. I just think that's fun to interact with people that are far away. So for my beef stroganoff, I have an onion, just a small onion, again, and some bacon drippings. I got a little bit too much on my pan for my green beans, so I just plopped it in this one to start my stroganoff. So I'll start my onion, and then I'm going to get my ground beef in. Any comments I need to respond to? Again, because we don't have our setup quite right, I can't see the comments and chat with you, but I have my trusty assistant over there. This is probably my most popular recipe on the blog, and it's an AIP, so it's autoimmune paleo friendly. People love it. Some functional medicine doctor in California actually wrote to me once about how great it was, and he was excited to recommend it to his patients, so that was exciting for me. It's fast, 30 minutes or less. It's really good. It's easy to double, triple if you need to. Actually, I did that. I served my whole family of 14 at Christmas one time, the beef stroganoff and mashed cauliflower, and everybody loved it. I think my father-in-law had 3 helpings. You can make it with steak. You don't have to use ground beef, but we like it with ground beef, and it's inexpensive, it's accessible, it's just perfect.
There's Hannah C.O. is from Johnson, from Texas. She says, hey, T in Texas.
She said what?
Hey, T in Texas.
Hey, T in Texas. Welcome, welcome. Is it really hot in Texas yet? So we're in North Carolina. Our weather got up to 90 last week. which is hot for me. I'm not ready for 90 in May. Not till the pool opens. When the pool opens, then it can be hot. But I suspect you're hotter than us down in Texas. So I'm just breaking up my ground beef. It's a little bit frozen still in the center. If you have a Sprouts near you, a Sprouts grocery store, I'm assuming they're pretty similar across the country, but it may be different in different places. Ours will have grass-fed ground beef for $3.99 a pound, usually about once a month. And I'll go and stock up and just portion it out into 1 pound packages and get it in my freezer. So again, just get everything in the pan. So I've got the onion and the ground beef in there, and I'm gonna slice my mushrooms and get those in. And in my Instant Pot behind me, I have my mashed cauliflower going. So I have a head of cauliflower, but once I got it out of the plastic and cut all the root and everything off, it was really small. So I had my cauliflower rice in the freezer and added about a cup of that just to have a little bit more. And it's really improvised. My secret to good mashed cauliflower is to add 1 little potato, and I forgot to buy that potato at the store, but I had a white sweet potato in the fridge, so I just used half of a white sweet potato. You could use an orange potato, you could put a carrot, any other kind of root vegetable would actually be really good in there. But I did the sweet potato, and it's white, so the color will, nobody will think it's weird based on the color. So I'm just slicing up 8 ounces of cremini mushrooms and just giving them a little chop to make them a little smaller.
You can see it's nice and breezy there.
Oh, nice and breezy. The breeze makes all the difference, right? If it's hot and the air is stagnant, which honestly is how it is here most of the time in the summertime. When you get that breeze, it makes all the difference in the world. My son played his tennis tournament this weekend, and Saturday it was really hot, but we had a breeze, so it was tolerable for us spectators. It's pretty hot for the players, but we were fine in the shade with our breeziness. So I'd love to know.
I just asked her, what grocery stores are in Texas, and she said Kroger and Walmart, but she's seen Aldi, so she's going to go in there as well.
Oh, good. Yeah, try Aldi. They have, at least here, and I know they were making a push nationwide to renovate their stores, and they carry tons of organic produce. They have things like wild-caught salmon in individual portions in their frozen section, which are great. What are some of the other things we love from Aldi? They have Kerrygold cheese, so they have grass-fed cheddar, and they have their own brand of grass-fed cheddar, which is even less expensive. So we buy that every week. They don't put dyes and artificial flavors in their house products. So like kid snacks, fruit strips, that kind of thing can be just fruit and fruit juice. So I love Aldi. I hope you give it a try. We had Kroger, and Kroger was my other big place, and all of our Krogers closed down, all of them, in the whole area, which was very sad. So I'm just getting everything mixed in and chopped up.
So she said she's from California, but she's been in Texas for 3 months trying a job assignment. So what's the difference between California and Texas as far as food goes?
Oh, yeah. Where in California? I'd be curious.
Rockwell, she said.
Rockwell. Okay, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. I know maybe it's kind of stereotypical, but what I know of California is that there's a lot of really healthy eating in California, and that it's easier to get, to go out to eat and find healthy food, even like foods cooked in proper oils, not the inflammatory oils and that kind of thing. So I think that is a benefit in California that I've heard. Of course, expensive. I don't know about Texas. I have some extended family in Texas. They do not eat the way that we eat. So if I asked them how easy it is to eat paleo, they would not know what I was talking about.
I think Rockwell's close to Dallas.
Rockwell's close to Dallas. Oh, they said that was California.
No, she's good. That's the great text she said from Rockwell.
Okay. You know what? This is, there it goes. All right, so let me tell you about my cauliflower for just a minute. Oh, there was a teeny little baby mushroom in there. I washed all of these before and put them back in that container.
She said she's been eating healthy, organic, and trying to stay away from meats. She eats a lot of salmon.
Okay, so staying away from meats. I'm curious why you're staying away from meat. No judgment, I'm just asking. Salmon is amazing for you, so that's a really great call there. Lots of fresh vegetables and salmon make a very healthy diet. You get some good fats, some avocado. Did I say this already, what I have in the Instant Pot? Yeah, my cauliflower and my potato. And I set it for 12 minutes on high pressure. And that's really for the potato because the cauliflower wouldn't take that long, but the potato needs that long. Okay.
Right, so we have Robin Jeffrey. He says, hello you two. My wife and I are watching you from England.
Oh, watching from merry old England. Welcome. We'd love to go there someday. So we are big travelers, or I guess I should say we love to travel. Last summer we took this big road trip across the country and in our minivan we camped a lot of the way and it was just amazing. We all loved it, but my kids, they still talk about how it was just such this epic adventure. And my husband and I have big dreams for traveling across the sea once the kids are in college or maybe out of college and we can afford it. We'll see what kind of scholarships they get. I'm so glad you're watching. Thanks. Tell me I'm curious why you're watching. Are you paleo? Are you following an anti-inflammatory diet? Are you gluten-free? Are you Instant Pot? Keto? And have you tried the beef stroganoff? I will say, if you haven't made my beef stroganoff and you eat all of these things, the beef, the mushrooms, you're not allergic to any of this stuff, I'd love for you to try it if you haven't tried it because it is really tasty. It's not the most photogenic recipe, and I have tried and I've styled it and all kinds of stuff, and it's just not the prettiest dish for a picture, but it tastes really good and it's very good for you.
So Tennessee said that she's it's for health reasons that she was doing it.
Okay, great.
The same particular one, she hasn't responded yet.
Well, I hope you're feeling better. It's amazing to me how well I feel when I eat well. And so I'm like always gluten-free, but even if we just go to a restaurant and I eat, will be an example of something I would eat in a restaurant, like a gluten-free bun on a hamburger or something like that, I just don't feel great afterwards. And I like to feel good. I was so sick for such a long time with the undiagnosed Crohn's disease that I really appreciate feeling well. And what I eat is just the main contributor. It is hard sometimes to make those choices. So what I'm doing right here is I'm making my dairy-free sour cream substitute. So beef stroganoff, you would usually finish it with some sour cream, but we're keeping it totally dairy-free. So I have about 1/3 of a cup of the cream from the top of my can of coconut milk, and I'm squeezing in the juice of about 1/2 a lemon, maybe a little bit less. That was a very juicy lemon. So the lemon juice will give it that tang.
All right, so Tennessee said she went from a 14 to an 8 size. Wow.
Wow.
With eating better choices. And she goes, I do eat meat, but not the ones that are not good for me. I'm laughing out loud. It's like, okay.
Tennessee, that's great. And you know what she says? She quit eating the meats that were not good for her. And you know what? That might be different ones for different people. And that is really, that's the ticket. I mean, there are some foods that I think are going to be pretty inflammatory and damaging for most people. I don't want to say all, but I would say most people. But then others, there's variety. Like I can eat some rice and some people can't eat any rice. So you have to figure out what works for you. And that's why people do these elimination diets. Like Whole30, or even autoimmune paleo is really meant to be an elimination diet. You're not intended to follow autoimmune paleo long term. You take all the inflammatory stuff out and then add things back in and see what you can tolerate.
So Robin says he's American, his wife is British, and they started watching because of the Instant Pot recipes.
Oh, great.
And they're thinking of trying the paleo diet.
Oh, Robin, please try the paleo diet. You know what? Even if you aren't sick or have some sort of condition that you're trying to treat, I bet you will feel so well. Like people say, I didn't know how bad I felt until I started feeling this good. So when I started paleo, I was feeling good. Now my Crohn's disease was managed with medication, but I was not having any symptoms. And the very day we started, I was standing at this sink right here, I was doing dishes, and I just remember thinking, I have never felt so energetic in my whole life. I mean, I felt like I could have jumped over my house, you know. It was just such a good, positive, sort of clean feeling. It was amazing. And so I'd love it if you would try it. I have lots of recipes on my website. Of course, the YouTube channel, which is all the recipes are on the website. I have menus to give you an idea of what to eat for the different meals. I think I'm seeing when somebody comments because something I can't read it because it's so far away and so tiny, and I have 45-year-old eyes.
So Tennessee says, oh, I'm good, I feel awesome, not health as in some sickness, but not to grow fibroids that I had, so I'm great health-wise.
Oh, great. Tennessee, that's so good to hear. You know, some people, I think some kind of naysayers or doubters will say paleo diet or keto or whatever is not beneficial. There's no scientific proof, which there is. You can actually search things like type 2 diabetes and paleo diet. There have been documented studies published in peer-reviewed journals about the benefits of paleo diet in type 2 diabetes specifically. But there's no harm in trying to eat a better way. You know, if you said, oh, I'm going to try a burger and Cheeto diet and see how I feel, well, you're not going to feel very well. But if you decide you're going to try grass-fed meat and lots of vegetables diet, go for it. You're not going to hurt yourself at all. I'm sorry this isn't ideal because I can't see the comments, so I'm waiting for my husband to see them, and I'm sure there's like a 60-second delay at least, so it's maybe a teeny bit disjointed, but we're getting there. So we got 6 minutes left on this. I'm going to actually pull my green beans out and flip those over. Ooh, they're looking good. They smell good. I'm excited. Ooh, they're a little bit brown. Can you see? I don't know if you can really see. They're getting a little bit shrivelly. So I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Ohio. My grandma was an amazing cook. Of course, they had a big garden. She cooked, you know, whatever came out of the garden, fresh. She would never cook green beans like this. She would put them on the stove with a piece of like ham hock or something and boil them for hours, and I just called them shriveled green beans because they would be sort of almost gray and really, really shriveled up, but they tasted so good. But these are going to be yummy too.
So Pretty is back, and she said, are salads beneficial?
Ooh, Pretty, welcome back. Thanks for coming back because I know you were on right at 5, very punctual, which I love that, and we were not ready. So thanks for coming back. Salads are great for you. Now, so I'll tell you a story. When I was first diagnosed with Crohn's disease, my GI doctor said, don't eat salad, don't eat raw vegetables. Someone with Crohn's disease, it's too hard on your gut. And that was the only thing way back in those early days that I thought, that doesn't seem right to me. And so I ignored that bit of advice, and I went ahead and ate vegetables, and I was fine. So yes, you need all that fiber, and if you don't eat a lot of raw vegetables, you might want to start slowly, you know, a cup or two a day and kind of work your way up. But there are some really therapeutic diets that recommend up to 12 cups of vegetables a day, cooked or raw. It doesn't necessarily matter. So Yeah, but you know you need some fat on your salad because a lot of the vitamins are fat soluble vitamins, which means you need fat in the diet for your body to absorb them. So some avocado or some good cheese or your olive oil, vinegar, whatever nice healthy dressing you're using. Don't use canola oil, don't use sunflower oil, safflower, corn oil, all of those industrial seed oils. They're very inflammatory, but make your dressing out of a good healthy oil. And the fiber, the vegetables are the prebiotics. I'm sure you've heard of probiotics. Those are the good bugs. But the bugs have to eat, and what they eat is the prebiotic fiber, which is coming from your vegetables. So, yes, salads are very good for you.
So Pretty says her meal does include lentils, brown rice, and curry. And
Lentils, brown rice, and curry. Curry has all that turmeric in it, which is very good for you, very anti-inflammatory.
and she says canola oil is not good.
Is she asking? Is Pretty asking?
Oh, she's asking, yeah.
Okay, canola oil is not good. No matter what mainstream media and nutritionists tell you, canola oil is very, very inflammatory. It's omega-6 fats. Your body will not like it. So switch to something like avocado oil, which doesn't have any taste and is not inflammatory. You can cook in avocado oil. Cook your good healthy bacon. You can save that and cook in the bacon drippings. Coconut oil, ghee, those are all really great choices.
Yeah, Pretty says thank you.
You're welcome.
Tennessee says, I'm going to try making the homemade chicken broth. I asked her if she had an Instant Pot, because I said that makes it a little bit easier. You got maybe tips you want to tell me about that?
Yeah, the chicken broth, if you don't have tell me if you have an Instant Pot. The chicken broth in the Instant Pot is still several hours, but it's several hours as opposed to like 48 hours. If you really want to get all the good nutrition out of the bones or the chicken feet, whatever it is that you're cooking, if you're doing it on the stove, it's a multi-day process. The Instant Pot makes it a one-day process because you can cook it for 2 to 3 hours in your pot, kind of just depending on how much volume you have in there. And then get it all cleaned up and you're done in a few hours. So I love the Instant Pot for broth. It's probably what I use it for absolutely the most. I have found a good source of bones and chicken feet with ButcherBox, but I'm really happy with U.S. Wellness Meats. If you don't have a good pasture farm near you where you can go buy some good bones and some of those other parts like the feet and necks and the organs and things like that would make a really good nutritious broth. U.S. Wellness Meats is a great source. And I think the website's actually called grasslandbeef.com. Chris can type that in. And their shipping is great. It'll come cold. Let me get my green beans. Okay, the beans look great to me. I love your questions and your comments. Thank you so much. Please ask me anything. Ask each other questions. I'm going to pull one of these out and then stick them back in the oven. I think they look good. I'm going to turn the oven off and just stick them back in.
So Andrew in California says, I love your videos. I watch them all.
Andrew, did you say?
Yep.
In California has watched all of my videos. Congratulations. Thank you so much. That's really kind. At the beginning, I just kept saying, why are people watching that pot roast video? I don't understand. But then people started commenting things like, I love, watching the trial and error, and you're actually showing how long it takes to make this stuff. So for whatever reason, I'm thankful that you're here. Please send me requests if you want to see certain kinds of recipes or just different topics. I will say, if you haven't seen it, I did a little, like a half an hour live yesterday because I had my dates mixed up. I just went ahead and went on. We just talked about stuff. Pretty was there. And I took you on a tour of my house, and it was just me carrying around my laptop, so it wasn't fabulous quality, I'm sure. But if you want to see what I'm looking at when I'm looking at the camera here, you can get a little tour of the downstairs, our homeschool room, and all of that stuff.
Pretty ask, is Instant Pot safe?
Sorry, I can't stand having stuff on the floor. The Instant Pot is safe. I would recommend you read the instructions and follow the instructions, but it is pretty foolproof. It's not like the old pressure cookers of our grandparents' day that would sit on the stove and you had to be super careful because they might explode. It has all these safety features built in. And if you don't set it up right, like if you accidentally don't move the valve to sealing, it won't pressurize, which all your liquid will boil right out. I am going to let the pressure down. I'm going to do a quick release. I'm sorry this is behind me. You can use a towel, or sometimes I use my my big tongs like this to kind of switch that valve over. I think I'm done chopping, so I'm going to move this out of the way. That was so good. Roasting brings out a lot of great flavor in the vegetables. So what I'm doing here is I'm waiting for this meat and the vegetables to start to brown, which they are. And then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of arrowroot. You could use cassava flour, or I wouldn't use coconut flour. It just doesn't work quite the same, but cassava flour or tapioca starch would work fine, but arrowroot I like the best. I think it works the best. Cassava and tapioca have a flavor that I don't care for. So we're making like a gravy, the sauce here. So the arrowroot is our thickener. Cook that for a minute. I'm going to put in some coconut aminos and some broth, and I'll taste it for seasoning. And then we'll add our dairy-free sour cream alternative at the end. I really can't say thank you enough. I'm so thankful that y'all are watching. I'm thankful for your nice comments and for being helpful to each other. I feel like this community is really great about offering up tips, your own tips. I'm not the expert. And I just love hearing from you. So thank you for your comments and share the love. We're so close to 4,000. I have 3,850 or something subscribers. When we get to 4,000, we're going to do a giveaway, but you have to be a subscriber to win the giveaway, and it's going to be like a goodie box, all sorts of good things. So definitely subscribe and share and all that stuff. Thumbs up, because that will get the videos in front of other people. Okay, so this is finished. So was it Pretty that asked if it was safe?
Yeah.
So Pretty, when you take the lid off, there's all this condensation, and it will be very, very hot, and it will burn you. So you need to be careful when you take the lid off. Also the steam itself. And then the pot is hot. I put just the tiniest amount of liquid in there because cauliflower has so much liquid already. So this is what it looks like, not super pretty. But I'm going to put it in my, you know what, I can't do that. When I do mashed cauliflower, I put it in the food processor so that it will be completely smooth. Mine's kind of finicky, so I can't fill it up and then put it in here. I have to have it in and then fill it up. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and add my cup of broth. I'm going to turn this down a little bit, and I'm going to work to scrape some of this up. I can't remember my recipe. It's probably like 2 tablespoons of coconut aminos, so I'll just pour a little bit in. Are any of you members of Thrive Market? If you're not a member of Thrive already, I highly recommend it if you're going to try this kind of diet, because you can save a lot of money on these specialty ingredients like the coconut milk and coconut aminos, that kind of stuff. They have sales. You can always get something free. The free thing I got today was a pack of those freezer pops, like those long skinny ones. You cut the top off. My kids love those. And I got a pack of those free, like 24 of them to stick in my freezer. So I feel like it's a great value. It's like Costco, Amazon, Whole Foods, all mixed together. The best of all of those. Okay, here we go. Keep that from splashing. sorry for the technical difficulties getting this started on time. We're gonna get it figured out. And if you like this, let me know if you like it. We'll do more lives. Okay, so I'm just gonna move this back over to where my outlet is and blend it up once I put the lid on. Actually perfect. I can't believe I got the seasoning just right. So, because, sorry, I say what good are mashed potatoes or mashed cauliflower potatoes without some butter. I'm going to put some ghee on there. It's really peppery. I got a big pepper bite. So I cooked it in broth, and all that broth is still just in there. So it's a little thinner than regular mashed potatoes, or even if you were just to boil your cauliflower on the stove and then strain it. But it's fine with me. I wanted the broth in there. It just adds really good flavor.
Okay, so you said she admires you. You must be really hard to manage home and YouTube, and you admire your dedication and your simplicity.
Oh, thank you.
She also says they use ghee a lot.
Oh yeah, ghee is amazing. It's a very high heat cooking oil because you've taken all the milk solids out of it. Let me grab my ghee.
And also, Tennessee says, well, I'm probably pronouncing her wrong name wrong, but hopefully I'm close. I asked about different recipes people would like to have. She said chicken pot pie.
Chicken pot pie. So I have made chicken pot pie, and I'm pretty sure there's a video.
I think there is.
Because I made it during Whole30. Because believe it or not, it's all Whole30 compliant stuff. It's totally paleo. My almond flour pie crust is so good. I mean, can I say that? Can I brag and say it's so good? It's so good. So this is my homemade ghee. I just take a stick of Kerrygold butter and I cook it really slowly on the stove. And all the milk solids just kind of come to the top and you skim them off. It's a little bit of a process. But I don't like the flavor of the ghees that are sold in the store, but I like the flavor of this. So I just put a little patted kind of across the top, and I'm just going to stick it in the oven, which is warm from my green beans. And now we're almost ready. I just have to finish this, finish my stroganoff. It smells so good. I do need to taste it for seasoning. I feel like I get out a zillion spoons. Let me taste that before I put this in.
So Tennessee says, she's not a member, but she needs to be a member of Thrive.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? With Thrive, you can get a free month trial. If you go to my website, ourpaleofamily.com, on the right side, there's a Thrive button. And if you go through my link, you'll get something free or some kind of discount. It changes all the time. But do that and do the 30-day trial. You can just load up, stock up on stuff that you think you're going to use. Right now, it may have ended yesterday. They were having a gluten-free sale. So like when we go camping, I take gluten-free pancake mix and some things like that just to be easy. And so when they have those sales, I stock up on that kind of stuff. Gluten-free crackers, some of that more sort of treat type stuff. But yeah, they have different things go on sale. They'll have like a Bath and Body sale, and all that stuff will be an extra 25% off. Which if you buy the healthy stuff at like your Whole Foods or a health food store, the Bath and Body type products are really expensive. Okay, so I think I've put everything in my stroganoff. Let me taste this.
Yeah, Pretty said she doesn't understand Thrive, but I think I've sent her a link to it, but I think you may have answered since then.
Okay. Pretty. So I'll just answer it real fast. And dinner's ready, so we're going to sign off in just a minute. But Thrive is a membership like Costco, so it's $59.95 a year. One of the awesome things about that is if you buy a membership, they will give a membership to somebody who cannot afford it. So if that's you, if you're in an income bracket where you can't afford it, you can just contact their customer service and you can get a free membership because they want everybody to have access to these healthy products. And then you just put stuff in your shopping cart. It's just like an online store. Put things in your shopping cart. If you have a $49 order, it's free shipping. So I always order at least $49, so I don't pay shipping. They have a couple distribution centers across the country now. They didn't at the beginning, so shipping is fairly fast, usually 3 to 4 days I get my box. And I have a Thrive unboxing video, watch that. Their packaging is amazing. From the very first time I ordered from them till the most recent, their packaging is great, or shipping, I guess. This needed a teeny bit more salt. No more pepper because I got a little bit too much pepper in the cauliflower, so I'll leave this a little less peppery. And it's so messy, so usually we edit all this out, and once I finish with it, we go clean up and then come back and show you the end. I won't be able to do that today.
So, it's like Pretty's from Canada.
Oh, pretty Canada. I would love to go to Canada sometime. My husband went to Vancouver. He works with people in Vancouver, so he's been to a little corner of Canada one time, and he was sending me pictures and how beautiful it was, and I was very jealous. So that's on my list too. Okay, so let me serve this up.
This is from Toronto.
Toronto, okay. Our downstairs air conditioner is not working perfectly well, so I don't want to leave the oven open for a long time. Okay, so I'm going to serve this in a bowl just because it'll be kind of soupy actually. Can y'all see the mashed cauliflower? It's so good, and it didn't really taste sweet, I didn't think. Of course, I just had a tiny bite with that little bit of sweet potato in there. So here's my mashed cauliflower, and I think I'll just put some green beans around the edge. We're so used to eating cauliflower instead of potatoes that I forget sometimes that that's actually a vegetable too. We usually have like a main dish and 2 vegetables, but that's actually a vegetable, and this actually has vegetables in it too with the mushrooms and the onions. So we try to get lots and lots. My kids are really good about eating veggies, so that's not so much of a struggle these days. So then some of our beef stroganoff in the middle. And that's it. That's our beef stroganoff, mashed cauliflower, and roasted green beans, which since the kids cleaned the green beans, that was super easy for me to do. And they're really yummy. So any final questions or comments from anybody before I sign off?
I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, so thank you to all those of you who tuned in. This will be up so anybody can watch it. You can go back and watch it again. I'm just kidding. But do go back and look through my list of videos because there are a ton. The chicken pot pie is there, which that's a little bit more of a complicated recipe, so it's a great one to watch. And if there's a particular thing you're looking for and you want me to paleofy, I'd be happy to do it. If you haven't tried paleo, give it a try. I have a little just what is paleo. That's a real quick primer. There's some books I recommend on my website, which is just right in the little menu bar. What is paleo? What is autoimmune paleo? It's right there. And you can always email me through the website, ask me questions. I'm happy to help. This way of life has just been so beneficial to my family. That's why I do this. I want to share it with others. I want other people to feel as good as we are feeling now. So thanks, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And we'll try to make this a regular thing because it was really fun for me. I love chatting with you. So I'm going to say good night. We're going to try to sign off effectively here. And I'll say I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.